Hello and welcome to Gardening at 58 North. In this video I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to try and do to overcome the problem of having a polytunnel that's too cold in the springtime. So here in North Scotland, our growing season is very short, our summers are very cool, so the best way to get the best from any crop is to start as early as possible to try and prolong the season. And so because of that, I'm going to be growing a lot of things in the polytunnel this year. What I'm hoping to do is to mitigate the cold night temperatures that we're having at the moment. So in a previous video I've talked about my thermal store here, which is actually doing quite a good job. I'll do a review on that later on. It hasn't been running for long enough to do a proper review. But at night time it's still getting quite cold. We're not getting frost anymore. We had a hard frost last night, about maybe just below zero, but the ground was completely white, and in here it was fine. There was no frost at all. In fact, I've got cosmos in here and they've survived fine with the frost outside, and in here it was nice and sheltered. So that's working. But what I'm finding is they're still getting quite low temperatures. So during the day it's getting quite hot. So at the moment it's not particularly sunny, but it's still getting nice and warm. You see it's about 25 degrees in here at the moment, which is a decent growing temperature. But at night time it still gets down to about 5 degrees. The outside temperature will be probably about 0, but the inside will get down to about 5, which is too cold for a lot of the tropicals, like the tomatoes that I've got growing on. I've also got peppers, aubergines, and I've got squash and courgettes and cucumbers. So that's a lot of plants that need a lot of warmth, and the temperatures of 5 degrees to be too cold for them. At the moment they're actually inside the house. The little seedlings are doing quite well, but where they are in the house at the moment it's quite cool even during the day. Even during the day it's only about 18 degrees, which isn't quite warm enough for them to grow well, whereas here in the polytunnel it gets up to 25. So during the day in the polytunnel is a fantastic growing environment. It's really bright, as you can see. To say it's not particularly sunny today, but it's very bright in here, whereas on the windowsill it's quite dark and they're getting leggy. And it's too much hassle because I've got probably over 100 of them to take them in and out every day, take them out in the morning, take them back in at night. It's just too much hassle. So what I really want to do is try and make another microclimate in here which will be able to support them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the central bit here, because this hasn't been dug yet ready for planting. I'm going to dig a trench which I'm then going to line with bricks and then going to cover with double layer perspex. So this is the polycarbonate, but not perspex. So this is the double walled polycarbonate. You can see it's got this little squares to keep the two walls apart, and that acts as a little bit of insulation. Could have used polythene, but I think this will work better. I've also checked, and the width of that is pretty much identical to the width of this central bed, so I can have them three of them. They're just going to be placed on top. I'm not going to seal them. The reason for that is because every day I'm going to have to be looking inside there, checking the plants, watering them, feeding them, things like that. So what I'm going to build it. I'm also going to measure the temperature over a few days, make sure the minimum temperature stays high enough, and if it does, then I'll actually be able to put the plants in there. So I've dug the area out quite roughly for now. I mean, this is only for a few months, it's only for about 2 months hopefully, so it's just a temporary measure. As soon as it's warm enough, I'll be removing all the material that I've used to make this, and it'll just go back into a planting base. So what I've done is I've dug out probably about 10 centimeters of soil. A lot of the problem is not having anywhere to put the soil, so I don't want to take out too much. I'm going to now line this with bricks. If the bricks make it too shallow, maybe I'll just have it as bare soil, I'm not sure. But I'll see how many bricks I have. I'm going to try and line it with bricks and then put brick wall around the edges as well. So that's the majority of the frame now built. You can see I've been using recycled bricks, and they're all different sizes, they're all smashed. These are actually rejects from the bricks works, so you can see a lot of them are cracked and damaged. So they're all mismatched, but as I say, it's temporary, it doesn't matter. I'm not cementing this in or anything, so it's not a big issue. So I've got perspex on the top, and even though it's not making a perfect seal at the moment, that's not a problem, because I do actually need a little bit of ventilation. I don't want it to be completely stagnant, the air in here, so that the plants start getting fungal problems or even overheat in the day. But at the same time, I want it sealed enough that it can keep the heat and doesn't lose too much heat at night time. So I'll keep an eye on the temperatures. If I'm finding it's too stagnant, I may even prop this up a bit higher. At the moment I've got a water bottle under here, so it doesn't sag too much and doesn't puddle. I'll also fill this water bottle with water, as that'll be an extra thermal store for the system. If I'm finding that it's too leaky and losing too much heat, what I might do is I might put a bit of padding under where the gaps are, possibly maybe some polythene flaps just to seal it off, but as I say, I'll see how it does. So I'll put this in late afternoon, so I won't be able to test it for another day or two until we get some sunny weather on it. But as I say, I'll put a thermometer in it. If it holds a good temperature, then I can put all my tropical plants outside in the polytunnel, even though it's only the beginning of March. So hopefully it's going to work. That's it for now. I've banked up the soil on the sides here. so that it helps to insulate the bricks. You can see on the other side where the path is, I can't really do that, but where I have been able to do it, I've insulated it. So all I have to do now is put a second sheet of polythene on top, keep an eye on the temperatures, and hopefully this is good enough for the tropical plants.